Hello and welcome to some more Sultai Urza. Uh, this hand's pretty good. No turn one, no like turn one interaction. Looks like I'm up against the mirror. But I get to go Astrolabe and Bobble on one. And I can hold up Deprive if I need it on two. Plus I have I have a way to get Mystic Sanctuary. I have the little bit of lock right here. Looks like I'm up against probably the mirror. And Shadow of Doubt would be so good if it was in my hand right here. I'm going to play around my opponent potentially having Shadow of Doubt. Just pick up a Breeding Pool. If my opponent taps out with 3, then I'll just be able to Ice Vein Collateral. Okay, so they're probably on the Euro version. If they tap out here, like for a Euro, I get to play Tireless Tracker. I'm just kind of untap with that. They probably don't have any removal for Tracker, so I'm probably decently far ahead in that case. Oh, I should have gone a basic island and used the Astrolabe for green. That's a little punt on my part. Okay, so Bant Snow here. Let's see what they pick up. So I can drop Tracker, but knowing that they're a white deck changes this a little bit. Like I want to get some value out of Tracker. So I think what I want to do is, if they don't cast any spells, I'm going to Archmage's Charm, draw 2. If they do cast spells, then I can counter it, and then I can untap with Tracker. Let's see what my opponent's about to draw. Teferi. So I definitely want to counter that if I can. My opponent taps out for Teferi. I get to counter it, untap, play Tracker, play a fetch land, pick up Mystic Sanctuary, put back Archmage's Charm on top, and then have Deprive in hand with a Tracker in play and feel decently far ahead at that point. Okay. Five cards in hand, one is a Batterskull. Or I can just jam an Urza that... jam an Urza, hold up Deprive. That seems pretty darn good. Yeah. If my opponent has Path, I have to do it before the construct hits the play, and they didn't. Okay. All right. Interesting thing about Batterskull is I could actually steal the Germ with Archmage's Charm. Can't be countered, huh? All right. Makes me wish I played Tracker last turn instead. Put Archmage's Charm back on top. And I think I want to know what they're drawing here. Astrolabe. Okay. So I'm either casting Deprive or cracking a clue here. Although to be honest, I'm probably just going to hold up that mana anyway, because what I really don't want is my opponent to path me when I'm tapped out. Opponent, let me untap here. They concede. Okay, so they concede to the tracker lock. I was actually not going to play Urza there. I was just going to crack a clue and keep going. Wait till I hit one more land drop before I can kind of go off. Okay, against control, Ashiok seems okay. Trophy seems okay. Veil of Summer seems pretty good. Spellbomb's a maybe, but probably not. I assume they run Spell Queller, so that's something that I might need to be aware of. What's good here? I love my discard. Deprive's amazing. Tracker's amazing. All of this is amazing. I think my Thopter combo is really strong here. I didn't even show it to my opponent, so that's actually pretty cool. I think Padding Needle is always pretty good. Shadow of Doubt's a good hit. I prefer Trophy over Push here, just because it hits Teferi, which is very, very good. Other than that, I don't really think I care too much about their creatures. Stoneforge Mystic can be a big deal, but it's not like she's just going to absolutely crush me. Ashiok stops, Stoneforge Mystic and stops. My opponent's fetch lands. I think that is fine as an inclusion for a one of. Can also stop some Mystic Sanctuaries. My opponent's deck is pretty mana hungry, so just turning off their fetch lands has some value. I think it's got a little bit more value than maybe a Fatal Push. Maybe. Although Fatal Push did stop my opponent from running the table with a Batter Skull there. This is fine. A little awkward that I need to fetch a basic off of the Delta. Oh, not anymore. If they drop a Stoneforge Mystic here, I can Needle her. Yep. I tapped the way I did to represent like that I have something here, even though I don't. Opponent does not have Teferi. That's very good news for me. I'll hold up Deprive. I'd rather not cast Deprive right here, if I can help it. Deprive's not bad as a desperation play in certain spots when you don't have a handful of lands that you want to play. But if you're a little land light, it's a fine turn to you play and you just replay the same land. That's like a completely fine line. Not going to cast Urza into open mana. Instead, I'll play a green source. So in case I draw a Veil of Summer, I'm fine. Completely fine with this clock my opponent's pushing on me. Meanwhile, I get to hold up Deprive or Trophy. Pathing their own creature. Yeah, that's fine. I wish I had a Shadow of Doubt right there. That would have been a really good blowout. My opponent taps out for the Batter Skull. I'll trophy it, untap, play Urza, hold up Deprive. Do I want Trophy back on top is the question here. I can't really see why I wouldn't, to be honest. That way I can hold up Trophy and Deprive. I like that. Also puts a Mystic Sanctuary in play for my Deprive lock. So if I want to hold up the Trophy, I need to bobble my opponent right now. Otherwise, I'm just holding up Deprive. Yeah. Okay. Fortunately, Field of Ruin can stop my Deprive lock. So opponent needed lands. They were willing to path their own Stoneforge, and since then they've drawn 2 lands. Which means the cards in their hand are not lands, but they're also not Force Negation. Opponent tapped out the field, so I can safely pick up my Mystic Sanctuary here. One mana short. Should not have gotten rid of the bobble there, I guess. 1 mana short. Alright. So they're going to dig for a path here to probably try to kill my Urza. Otherwise, they probably would have Fate Sealed. I think these decks are very, very similar. The big difference, their Haymaker is Teferi. Teferi just completely invalidates everything I want to do and makes them a better control deck. But I think my threat base is much, much higher. Sure. I think you pathed the wrong threat there. So it's Mystic Sanctuary, put Deprive on top. Let's play Astrolabe, draw the Deprive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't have enough to spin, Deprive, and Trophy. So I'm going to attack them. then Trophy Jace, and Hold Up Deprive. Four cards in my opponent's hand. Okay, that is the match. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.